Welcome back to the OKC Foodcast, your guide to the food in Oklahoma. And today, we're going to recap the best of the best in Oklahoma City. The Gazette does this yearly thing, which everyone probably knows about. It's the best of OKC. It's got everything under the sun that you can think about. But obviously, we're going to focus on the food and drink category of best of OKC. The nominations or the voting actually begins on the 13th, so in a couple of days. But we're going to recap the 2020 list just so we get the juices flowing on what we want to vote for. And, you know, let's give the restaurants the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
But first, I'm joined by my wonderful hosts.
Christina.
And Josh.
Woo-hoo.
And this is Nabil.
I thought you were just going to launch straight into favorite thing you ate this week. But first, let me tell you about the
Oh, and by the way, I'm joined by these two.
I was, but then I was like, wait, I didn't do the intro yet. So eat of the week.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Mine's pretty easy. I just made these rice bowls, Korean rice bowls. Guess you could call them bibimbops, but I don't have the stone bowl, none of the crispy rice, so I don't feel right calling it that. Hence, it's a rice bowl.
It's like 90% of bibimbap. So
Except for the
don't cut
crispiness.
yourself-
Except for the crispiness.
I know. So you wouldn't call paella without the sauerkraut, right?
Well, yeah, you have a point. True. But I'm just saying, it's pretty good. Nabil.
Otherwise, it'd just be like a seafood pulao. Which, if someone doesn't know what a pulao is, it's a Pakistani word for a dish made with rice that's got all the ingredients mixed into it. So it's not like you're putting anything on top of the rice; it's just all there.
I feel like in Spanish we have a similar word for it, and it is not coming to me, but it will probably like in 30 minutes. I'll just like announce it.
We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
And so you may or may not find out what the Spanish word for that is. We'll just hold on. So these rice bowls, I got some short rib, marinated that with soy, honey, garlic, a little bit of rice wine, let it sit for a few hours, made all the vegetables slightly different so you could get a little bit of a taste in every one of them. So the green beans were extra garlicky. The peppers and onions were where kind of the green chili spice was carrying through. Had some mixed vegetables, which are just mixed vegetables with some soy. So it's like a soy glaze on them. And then I pickled mini cucumbers with some garlic and ginger. And they were there to cut the heat. And of course, we had kimchi, which I didn't make myself because that seems like a lot of work. But I will try it at some point in my life. Fermentation, that's a whole different process. But yeah, so that was my eat of the week. That's what I made. And I'm going to enjoy it for the rest of the week because it's meal prep.
And I just want to mention that Nabil actually brought us a sample of his creation from home.
A rather large sample. But
Well, I make sure you all are fed.
Generous.
And then that gets topped with a fried egg. Let's not forget about that because that yolk is everything. Mm-hmm. And then we made like a little bulgogi type sauce that you just drizzle on top, and that's got a little bit of heat. Actually, a lot of bit of heat and a little bit of sweet. So you can kind of balance out your heat level with that sauce.
Nice. Okay, Chef Nabil, good job.
Thanks.
All right, so okay. I will go next. So my eat of the week will be social capital.
If it's not the rice bowl, it's incorrect.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. But
so that's why you brought it.
so my favorite eat of the week was Nabil's rice bowl today.
Shockingly, mine was too.
Hey!
On Saturday, I went to go check out the new brewery that just opened called, okay guys, remind me.
Skydance.
Skydance Brewery. Amazing.
Your eat of the week was a beer?
I need to preface it with where my eat of the week evening started, because it's so important that we stopped here, because it kind of it's not that far from Scissortail, and I had my scooter there with me, so we kind of parked there and we scooted our way to Social Capital, and it was the day of OU Texas, so it was what, Bill?
A question: is it scooted or scootered? Your way.
I don't know.
I usually say scooted.
Scooted.
Because it sounds more fun.
Scooted.
Scooted, is that okay?
Okay. Scootered sound...
Scootered.
Scootered sound like it was done to you for some reason. And scooted is like you doing it.
Me, the action of scootering.
Yeah, scooted.
Gotcha. Okay, glad we got that cleared up. Anyways, so made my way
what
over
should be the opposite?
to Social Capital, and it wasn't very busy because it was OU Texas, so I figured everybody was probably drunk and at home. I've heard that this place is always busy, which is why I kind of avoided going there. But thankfully it wasn't, and it was very, very beautiful, amazing scenery, the ambiance. There's 2 stories. You can go upstairs, sit, and just kind of have the whole view of Scissortail and the downtown skyline. It's beautiful. And you order downstairs. It's basically, I would say, Mexican food. So I had the chips en queso blanco, and the chips were just exactly how I like them. They're like really thick and just like freshly delicious. And then their veggie quesadilla, which had mushrooms and spinach. Seems pretty... I mean,
but if it's
RJ
done
didn't
right...
approve. If it's done right, it's good. It was great. Would recommend Social Capital.
Nice.
Yeah.
After you scooted your way onto there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have a place to, because I had my lock and key, so I could safely store it downstairs.
Oh, you have a personal scooter? So you weren't on a Lime or anything?
No, this is like my personal one.
Well then.
Yeah, it's my fancy
Hoity-toity.
Surprisingly, it's really convenient because if you can't find a good parking space, and it folds.
Oh,
so
really?
It folds and it locks, and I can carry it, and I just toss it in my trunk, and I park somewhere, and I just,
And you scooted.
And I scooted
and you
my
scoot
way
around.
Yeah. I'll have to show you guys one day.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit because it's not technically a week since I've had this, or it's been over a week since I've had this, but I was recently in Washington, D.C. for a work trip, and if I am in Washington, D.C., there is one place I have to go every single time, and that's Filomena's in Georgetown. The best Italian food you will ever have.
I've heard about this place a time or two.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just past Georgetown, so it's a fairly good Uber ride away from where I was.
Or you could scoot there.
Staying, or you could scoot. It would be a longer scoot, but a longer scoot than an Ube, but.
Nice.
But
I see you took the out of both. I see it. Well done.
Filomena, it's been around since 1983. A authentic Italian family that are still using their grandma's recipes from Italy. You have to get the gnocchi. They make all their pasta in-house. All the sauces in-house. Everything is in-house. You walk in at street level, and there's windows where they're literally making the pasta that you can see before you go down into the restaurant, which is below street level. You walk in, you've got a dessert case with all of the tres leches, all of the Italian desserts and cakes in a glass display box. And then, like I said, all the ingredients are completely fresh, and you leave the place waddling because you eat so much, but it is very well worth it. So if you are in the DC area, definitely need to check out Filomena. For one that is actually within a week of right now, my wife and I went on a date night last week, and we went to La Brasa. I had the lomo saltata, which is diced filet mignon, cherry tomatoes, onions, red wine vinegar, ají amarillo peppers, roasted garlic, and it's all on top of jasmine rice. It's Peruvian food. We had the blistered shishito peppers as the appetizer. I'm a sucker for shishito peppers, and so it was extremely good.
I'll have to bring you some shishito peppers because I've got so many I can't keep up with.
I will take as many shishito peppers as you can give me.
Okay, I'll drop them off this week.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I pay for it the next day, but that night
it's so good.
So good.
How do you make yours?
With like a Korean barbecue sauce.
Okay, so you like sauce them and stuff.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, I do. I mainly just do like lime and salt.
Okay. Yeah.
So like super.
Yeah,
pretty close
like
to what you get at like the sushi, like the restaurants and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a little saucy.
Okay, so that'd be good.
It's fantastic.
That'd be really good.
The other place that has really good shishito peppers is Chicken Beer on 23rd Street.
Oh, really?
100% agree.
They have really good, and they do like a Korean barbecue sauce over theirs with sesame seeds on top. Very, very nice.
I'll like mix miso, like a white miso paste at home with some like lemon juice and put that on the shishito peppers too, blister shishito peppers.
Nice. I've just been, I gotta step my shishito pepper game up, I guess.
One thing I have not done is I have not tried to do the shishito peppers on my Blackstone. So I will have to try that at some point. So
For sure.
What do you usually do with it?
just like a wok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were like baking or
So
like
toss them
or
toss them in a wok or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll use like my cast iron.
It would just happen a lot faster, I guess, on the Blackstone.
Yeah. So I have to try that.
Philomeno's. DC is a place I've not been.
DC is a good food destination.
I bet with the
there are all
and
kinds of different places. I mean, you've obviously got the famous Chinatown just north of the capital, but so you got a ton of fantastic Asian food. But there's a heavy Middle Eastern presence. There's a heavy Italian. You know, obviously East Coast. There's a heavy influence from a lot of different cultures, and so you can pretty much find any kind of food.
Oh my gosh. And every time you go, because I know you go for work, so when you go out there, do you kind of book some restaurants in advance?
For sure. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you do go to DC and you want to go to Philomeno's, you have to get a reservation. Like there's no way you're going to get in. So yes, there are multiple places like that where get your reservations in, kind of do your research ahead of time and get those in. The one sad part about this past week of being there was because of COVID, there have been a ton of restaurants that have shuttered their doors. They just can't make it anymore.
No.
So there were a couple that we looked up to make reservations at to eat either for lunch or dinner while we were there, and they're out of business. And it's really sad.
And I feel like some of it is also, maybe not as much as they couldn't make it. It was just that much more effort in an industry that requires a lot of effort. So like people that have been in it for maybe decades are probably saying, okay, we were thinking about either retiring or closing up. Might as well just do it now.
Man.
Well, the thing with DC being a political town is Congress has basically been working from home since a year and a half ago. Basically. I mean, as far as their staff, and you think about all the federal agencies, all of them have
all the travel
mostly been virtual. So this was the first time I've ever been to DC, and you'd go out at midnight or whatever, and it was quiet.
Wow.
It was kind of spooky, honestly, because normally there's just traffic everywhere. There's people everywhere, and everybody's working from home. And so I think that's what really leads to a lot of these businesses having, it's very tough.
And isn't DC real estate also like one of the most expensive in the country, like renting?
It's extremely expensive.
Over there.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's just like double whammy.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But good food.
I need to explore DC food. I was only there for one day, one time.
One day, one time.
That's it. Well, it was a couple days, but really just one. We were there for Serena's med school interview, and it happened to be my birthday, but it was on I was coming off of a conference, so after a conference, I was just really tired because there are long days.
Yeah.
And I'd started kind of not feeling well, so I didn't even really get to enjoy too much DC food, unfortunately.
Well, when you go, let me know, and I'll hit you. I'll give you a lot of recommendations for food.
We'll do. This week, like we had mentioned, we're gonna chat about the best of OKC from 2020 according to your votes, and you're in this because someone probably voted. Every vote counts. Of the best of 2020 in food and drink.
Yeah.
So I don't remember most of these. I don't remember voting. I did. Yeah. I don't remember who won. So this is going to be a fun exploratory. An exploration. Words are hard. Like, let's just scoot past that. And I feel like this might end up being a 2-parter episode.
Yeah.
So you might have to hang out in suspense for another week, or you can just go online and check it out at the OK Gazette website.
Yeah. Okay,
don't give that spoiler. Even though these answers are a year old, wait a week.
Yeah. Well, and 2 days from now, voting will open.
13th. Yeah.
If you don't like any of these answers, you have the chance to change it in 2 days.
Use your vote. Your voice matters.
So on the 13th, and I'm not 100% sure, but I would say just keep an eye out on the OK Gazette's Instagram and their website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually it's all over social media because everyone's sharing their favorite place, and it's all a thing. So you can't miss it.
Right.
And we'll post about it.
And I have to say, this is like one of my favorite things every year. Like I love this list, and not just for the food and drink. Like I like to look through the businesses.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
To see who all was nominated, who all got the awards. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You
find out who the best plumber is, or whatever.
Hey, I know that guy. One of the cool things was 2019. I think someone had nominated us. The podcast as like an arts and entertainment.
I did not know
category.
this.
Wait, there's a podcast category?
I don't know if it was a podcast category or it was like an entertainment or a food category. I don't know. There was some category that
there is a best of arts, culture, and entertainment. Too bad that on the 26th or 28th the nominations closed. Otherwise,
rats. It's okay.
Well,
we don't want to force it. We'll get it eventually.
It will be ours.
It will be ours one day.
Announcing the campaign now.
Vote 2022.
So where do we want to start on this?
Should we just start from the top of the list and work our way down?
Sure.
Yeah, unless you've got a favorite that you want to get to.
Well, the best restaurant is at the bottom, so I feel like some of the bigger ones are going to be at the bottom of the list. But we can.
That's all right. That's why we got episode 2.
Well, we can kind of go a little fast on some of these too. Just kind of mentioning.
Yeah. So last year, I think the best local craft brewer was Coop.
Yeah.
We've got some fantastic breweries.
We sure do.
And I mean, more open up every week, it seems. So I'll be curious to see what the list is this year.
Yeah, just a lot more options. I think it's just exponentially growing.
Next one was the best local tap room. Prairie Artisan Ales won that one for their spot on 8th Street, which in that food market, or that it's not really a food market, but it's like, it seems like it could be a food hall, but they've got offices and stuff like that. It's really well built out. That whole area is.
It's going to grow fast too.
Yeah.
That whole area.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that continues to go in there.
I don't know if like best local tap room, I feel like would have been cooler if it encompassed more places. So if it's a tap room that like got things from Prairie and Stone Cloud and Angry Scotsman, and it's a conglomeration of local places, I feel like that'd be a really cool spot. One of my favorites used to be Tapworks, which is unfortunately closed down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But they had everything.
Yep.
So let's see what it is this year. Best breakfast.
Here's where we can get into some fights.
Oh yeah.
The gloves are coming off. Josh is like stretching and
Gotta get my cardio in. Here we go.
Gosh.
so best breakfast went to Cafe Cacao.
I mean, it's a classic. It's not a bad spot, and they're always busy. There's never a day you go, especially on the weekend, and there isn't just a long line.
Yeah, good luck getting in. Yeah. We had an inquiry from out of town talking about brunch, and I was like, Cafe Cacao, and they were like, can we just walk in? I was like, no.
It's not that
good luck. Like you'll need to get on no wait multiple times.
Yep.
Yep.
Plan your visit.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Cafe Cacao has really good breakfast. I can't say anything against it because it's good, and it's up there for me. I don't know what would beat it out. It would depend on the day for me. So.
Well, I mean, the other ones mentioned Hatch Early Mood Food. I love Hatch.
Yes. Their hash brown tumblers.
Well, I was just about to say that. Yeah. So you can't go wrong with that.
The chicken fried egg. Have you tried that? We did try that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so lightly fried. Oh, it's so good.
It's very good. Plus, they have good breakfast cocktails, too. So you might check
what
those
encompasses a breakfast cocktail?
There's a lot of coffee liqueurs that they'll bring in, mimosas, and they'll do
like Bloody Marys.
Yeah, Bloody Marys, and they'll throw a few unique ingredients in there. So they're good. Jimmy's Egg, Neighborhood Jam, Sunnyside Diner.
Yeah,
I love the pancakes at Sunnyside.
Jimmy's Egg is like an old school favorite.
That's right.
It holds a special spot for me.
Yeah.
So.
Jimmy's Egg was always the place we would go when my grandparents were in town, and they'd be like, after church we would go to Jimmy's Egg, and they'd take us out to Jimmy's Egg. So that's what was always remembering.
Nice.
So.
Yeah,
I have good memories of Jimmy's Egg too. That was like my first breakfast place.
It's a solid like simple old school breakfast spot. Although they're doing a couple of new things. Like one of their locations has a bar in it, and. My friend was telling me that they're redoing their original location.
Where is the original?
Is it on Classen? Is that the original one?
Classen.
Classen and Expressway.
I should remember this because he told me not too long ago, but I don't remember where the original location is.
Isn't there one in that area? Well, it's okay.
Anyway, they're redoing it. So.
All right, excited to see it. And the Neighborhood Jam, there's a new one that just opened a few months ago in Edmond. So kind of going alongside it, best brunch goes to Cheevers, or went to Cheevers. Again, I can't. There's nothing wrong with Cheevers. Can't complain.
Can't complain. That's another one that you will have to plan your visit.
Yeah,
like it is busy.
Yeah.
For brunch,
like it's hard. I have a hard time, especially in breakfast brunch categories, actually in a lot of categories, which one goes, like what's the best place to go? Like, I mean, they all do something slightly different, depends on the mood. They have a slightly different take on cuisine. Like,
yeah,
now if you did apples to apples, it's a little easier. But if you're gonna throw in Cafe Cacao and Hatch, or Cheevers or Neighborhood Jam, like they do widely different things.
Yeah, I mean, a great breakfast for all of them. It just depends on like the ambiance that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The vibe.
Or like you throw in Jones Assembly, right?
Oof, yeah.
So anyway, those were some of the runner-ups. Best late night eats? Empire Slice House.
Definitely a good place for a late night eat.
Some of the runner-ups: Beverly Pancake House, Flip's Wine Bar, Guyute's, and the Jones. Funny story about Beverly's. Have you ever been to Beverly's Pancake?
Yes, and I feel like I've only been to Beverly's like at midnight.
Exactly.
That's the only time to go.
So,
like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So it became a tradition. You both know, and I've mentioned on here before, that I used to be in politics, and I was in office for 4 terms, and after every single election, we would go to Beverly's because it was like literally the only thing open at the time, and because we'd get done with after parties and celebration and super late, early morning.
It's always a celebration.
Yeah, so it was a celebration every time, thankfully for me. But we would always go to Beverly's, and it's more nostalgic for me.
Definitely.
It is a very old school diner.
Yeah.
Like no frills, you know, it's
always
solid.
interesting characters that
I was
you
gonna
see in there.
say great people watching at 2 a.m. in the morning.
For sure.
I feel like any place at 2, 3 a.m. is great people watching.
I mean, they're the true late night eats though, because I don't think Empire Slice opens. I mean,
I don't think they stay open past 2.
No.
I mean, it's still late night. It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
I think they're till midnight.
Oh, really?
For the
I think.
pizza.
For the pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they're...
I think kitchen closes a little earlier. But I don't know.
Okay, so the next is Best Burger. And I feel like this one... gloves off, you guys. I feel like you guys will have more to say about this. The Garage Burgers and Beer won last year for Best Burger. What do you guys think?
I think the Garage has a solid burger. Nothing wrong with their, like, again, their bison burger. I like that a lot. I've actually had Garage multiple times. The runner-ups in this were Johnny's, Paddy Wagon, S&B, and Tucker's. I would have liked to see New State in there.
I was going to say...
100%.
I wonder if they'll be in the 2021 list.
Surely.
They probably will be.
I hope so. Yeah, once we see this nomination list, that'll be very interesting. And another place I feel like that's probably going to be in there this time is Burger Punk.
Yeah. Yeah. Best tacos?
Yeah.
Best tacos in 2020. Big Truck Tacos won. Some of the runner-ups, Fuzzy's, Hacienda Tacos, Mexican Radio, and Oso on Paseo. Thoughts?
I'm a fan of Big Truck. I feel like a lot of people have recently been telling me, because there's so many other places, that they've lost their fanness of... I mean, they still enjoy it, but not as much. I still really like it. That's just my personal opinion.
I think Big Truckos.
Big Truckos.
can't talk today,
Big
guys.
Truckos.
Big Truck Tacos is... I mean, it's kind of like Jimmy's Egg to me. I mean, it's like one of the first places that I went to when I moved here, and I was so enamored with their flaming lips, because in Bolivia we eat a lot of, and I hope I don't gross anyone out, but like cow tongue is just a staple, and you really have to know how to cook it and tenderize it, and they do that. They have a really good cow tongue taco, and it's delicious and it's so tender. And then for the vegetarians out there, they have, and that's also my other favorite one, is their crispicado, which is the avocado covered in batter, and then they deep fry it.
Yeah.
Man, it's so good. And then what can you say about the salsas? I mean, their salsas are delicious.
I honestly think that is one of the main reasons why they're so high up on the list for me, is their salsas are always on point. And I'm a sauce condiment kind of guy. And so if you win me with multiple of those, it's an easy way to my stomach.
Well, I think there are the other point is that there are multiple sauces as well. They give you a little bit of a variety across the spice spectrum, across the sweetness or savory spectrum. That helps.
Yeah, for sure. And I also appreciate that they try different things like cow tongue and their Fifth Amendment that they have fun with. And I feel like they try to experiment a lot with different flavors and styles, and I appreciate that. So
So well deserved, but I'm curious to see what the nominees are. I haven't checked. I don't really know if they've. I guess they'll publish the nominees.
The nominations,
on the 13th.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see who's nominated.
Best sandwich shop, The Mule was last year's winner. City Bites, Lee Sandwiches, ND Foods, Someplace Else were the runner-ups.
Do you feel like this is a category that Oklahoma City is lacking in? And I'm not taking anything against, not saying anything against any of the nominees or the winner, but as far as like quality sandwich places that aren't necessarily a chain, does Oklahoma City have a good offering?
I think I would agree with that.
Okay.
Not that I think, I do agree with that, because if you talked to me 2 years ago, I had an answer, and I would say you're wrong. There's a good sandwich place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we all know what we're talking about. Scotty's.
Yeah.
I used to love that place. But I haven't found a replacement for that yet. I'm sure there will be something. Surely someone's working on something. And was someone talking about a sandwich place recently on the podcast?
I think, Jennifer from Edible OKC, I think she mentioned
The chicken sandwich. The vegan chicken.
From the press, which is a spot we have to go. I'm really, really interested in trying that vegan. Is it a vegan sandwich or a vegetarian?
It was vegan chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the area that we're still developing in here in Oklahoma is that, I mean, the reason why Scotty's closed, I mean, I'm sure it's because not enough, I mean, there just wasn't enough people going out there searching for a good sandwich place.
Right.
So.
I mean, to me, there's nothing better than a really good sandwich. And there's not much worse than a mediocre sandwich. Because the good sandwich, you're just like, oh my gosh, that was a good sandwich. Got to have it again. A mediocre sandwich was like, it's just another sandwich.
It was satisfying. It was good.
It was good,
right?
But it's not at that level.
It's not something that you would tomorrow be like, I want to go get that again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. I agree. And I think there's a lot of places that do cold sandwiches fairly well. Mm-hmm. It's when it comes to hot sandwiches that I think there's a little bit of a gap. Not counting grilled cheeses.
Which I think the mule is mainly grilled cheeses.
Yes.
So are they sandwich? I don't know.
And I will also not count an adult grilled cheese if that's how it's marketed.
I will say the mule is good though.
Yes. Mule is good.
Discredit.
Not
so
to take away anything from them.
All of these comments are not anything about the places that were mentioned. It's about things that we hope come to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if there is a place that we're talking about,
please let me know.
Let us know because we absolutely do not know everything.
Yeah, we're here to learn and discover, and
we're discovering alongside. Yeah. There's so many times people will come in and be like, "Hey, have you tried this place? I didn't even know this place existed."
Right.
So
yeah.
Best barbecue.
Oof.
I'm just let Josh take this one away.
Yeah. Go for it.
So 2020.
Hey, did you go to Bandy's again this week?
So it's Swadley's Barbecue won in the 2020 category. The runners-up being Clark Crew Barbecue, Cornish Smokehouse, Earl's Rib Palace, and Iron Star. And we were talking about this before we got on the air.
This is kind of where the episode started.
Yeah,
and we're like, let's just go through the list.
You know, I am struggling to find. I've lived in Oklahoma all my life, and I am struggling to find that barbecue. You know.
What
here,
like
the barbecue?
No thinking, everything.
Right.
Like that's where
right.
To go.
There are a lot of places that have fantastic barbecue, including Swadley's, Clark Crew's, Cornish, Earl's, Iron Star. I mean, all of those on the list. Fantastic barbecue. One that's not on this list that we were surprised was Leo's.
Yeah.
And Butcher Stand.
And Wellston. It's, you know, I've had a lot of barbecue in Texas, Kansas City. I don't even talk about the East Coast because they don't know what barbecue is. Because they think
Shots
barbecue is pork, and barbecue is not pork, it's beef in my book. Plus, their barbecue sauce is a vinegar base. I don't think it should be a vinegar base, but that's neither here nor there.
What's the base?
It should be a ketchup base.
Okay. I like ketchup. I'm on board. Okay. I'm down.
So
you get a little bit of sweetness.
Most of the barbecue sauces you get in like South Carolina, North Carolina, they're going to be very watery, and you just basically dunk it. It's more of an au jus.
Okay.
That you dunk it in, or
it's gotta be a lather.
It's gotta stick on the barbecue and not just run off. Now, again, those sauces, I've had some great vinegar-based sauces, but to me, it has to be beef, and it's got to be a ketchup or tomato-based sauce. So. It's another area that I'm searching for, like the barbecue. No questions. Nothing down. I'm searching for it. And I found that in other states. Like I've got my go-to places in Texas and Kansas City, and I've found a couple places in Kansas that are just fantastic barbecue. But
so Josh, tell us one place so that we know. to go if we ever go to Kansas?
If you ever go to Kansas City, you're putting me on the spot now. I the one I can think of is, from Texas's perspective, is Heart Eight Barbecue.
Really?
Because they do an outdoor pit. Ooh. It's an outdoor cook over open fire, mesquite wood.
I've heard good things about Heart Eight. I haven't been there. I also like their homage to their tip to craps. Fan of playing some craps. So shooting some dice. Sorry. That's not food.
and we were talking about earlier, like, I feel like sometimes barbecue places in this area focus a lot on the atmosphere before they perfect the food. And to me, barbecue is the food. We use the example of Franklin's Barbecue down in Austin. It's a shack. And or like Butcher Stand Barbecue in Wellston. Mm-hmm. There's not much there, but it's some of the best barbecue you'll have. And let's focus on getting the meat right.
That's barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously the sauce plays into that. So
yeah, I think the top of my list right now is Leo's in the Oklahoma City area. For it's off of 36 and Kelly, I think is the cross street. 36 and Kelly, like it's authentic. It's really, really good barbecue.
That's where we take our out of towners too.
Yeah, nice. And they now have Leo's Barbecue in the 36th Street Homeland at 36 and Lincoln.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
so
great.
Including the strawberry shortcake that they sell.
Oh,
they have
because
that
you can't
in the
not
Homeland.
have the strawberry shortcake, right?
Exactly. So
all right, I'm gonna have to. I haven't had Leo's in years. I'm gonna have to go back there.
It's good stuff.
Because my top right now where I took people was Clark Crew, because we were just never organized enough to get down to Butcher's in time.
Yeah, you got to be there early.
How far is it? Yeah, I keep hearing.
It's not that far from Edmond. Honestly, it's like 20-30 minutes. Yeah. It's really not that far. It's just you have to get there around 10.
Right. Or not, if not earlier.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be waiting.
Right.
For
if
forever.
it's nice, if it's like super nice weather outside, you're going to be waiting a while because everybody has the same idea as you do.
Field trip.
Best pizza place.
Oof, you guys. Okay, so the winner for last year, best pizza was Hideaway Pizza. Okay. How do we feel about that? I don't know. But the runner-ups were Empire, Pizzeria Gusto, which should be number one all the time. In my
I knew you were going to say something.
And then Sauced, which is good. And then Hall's, which I know is top for you guys.
Do we know the Sauce exists still? Because I know they were closed for a while because they had a fire.
Oh, you're right.
And
let's see. Let's look it up.
Please hold.
And while you look that up,
it says it's temporarily closed, so they're probably not opened yet.
So many good memories there. Sauced is another place for me, like Beverly's, like open late, would get there, and then next door they always had some sort of rave going on.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah. Paseo is a fun place.
And you get the brick
Eclectic.
of the Rice Krispie treat. It's like a brick of cocaine.
In terms of Hideaway winning, I don't know. I feel like we've got Hideaway is good pizza.
Yes,
we get that. I get that often enough. Actually, yeah. I mean,
it's safe to me. I feel like every time you go there, it's always
because like we love Halls, but that's wood fired. That's a very particular style of pizza.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if you don't like that char, that smoke, that type of bread, you're not going to enjoy that pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we have here is what we already talked about on a couple other things, and Hideaway is that nostalgic for a lot of people in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Started it in Stillwater. It's got a couple. They expanded to Norman and Oklahoma City now, and it's just that memory for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
I have noticed that it varies from location to location.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Best steakhouse.
They have Cattleman's Steakhouse
as the winner. And that could be another one of those nostalgia. This is where a lot of people go.
Yeah.
It's an experience for sure.
Right.
So, Josh, did you go there? I mean, has it been around that long where you remember it since you were like...
Oh, yeah. No, Cattleman's has been
Teenager.
here since, I'd have to look up. It's been a very long time. Very long time. So, again, it's kind of like an Oklahoma City institution. It's Cattleman's Steakhouse. Boulevard Steakhouse is also mentioned. Mahogany, Prime, Ranch, and Red Prime are the runner up on that. My personal favorite out of that list is probably the Ranch.
Yeah.
Really good steak.
I think I lean towards
not only
Boulevard.
the steak, but the atmosphere, and they have really good sides at the Ranch.
They do, yeah. Like their
think
mashed
the
potatoes or carrots.
Best steak I've had in Oklahoma City would be at Mahogany, and the downtown location, not the Quail Springs location.
Oh, that's right. There's a downtown.
Yeah, there is a huge, in my opinion, there's a huge difference between the quality of the two, and the downtown location is much better
Interesting.
than the north location. So,
So if you had to recommend, probably check out the downtown.
yes, I would absolutely
Okay.
recommend check out the downtown. It's right next to the Oklahoman building, or it's about to be the News 9 building, just
really?
across from the convention center, or the old convention center, Cox Convention Center. So,
Now it's Paycom.
well, no, the old convention
Oh,
center
convention
is now
center.
the
The Chesapeake.
Prairie Surf movie
Media, yeah.
studios, or whatever it is. But yeah.
Josh coming in with all the OKC updates
I
over
like
here.
Yeah.
This just
Keeping us informed.
The arena is Paycom now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is. Best sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi Nico won last year, with some mentions to Go-Go Sushi, the Sushi Bar, Tokyo, and Tsubaki. Which, by the way, Tsubaki is one that I still have not tried, but a lot of people mention that as extremely good sushi.
Yeah, and I want to say, was it Jonathan Stranger that mentioned that Tsubashi is like the owner personally vets all of the ingredients in the fish. They come from different parts of the world, so it's like you're getting really top notch ingredients from there.
Yeah,
I've
that's
not been there, but I want to.
That's the one he was talking about, and we were talking about location. It's in a gas station strip mall,
Yeah.
which I think the first time I saw it, I was like, "That's an interesting spot for it." Okay,
It's kind of
but-
like an if you know, you know spot.
right. Those usually turn out to be the best. So
Yeah. Sushi Nico, love it. I haven't been there in years. Really cute, nice, like, spot to go. Have you guys been there before, Sushi Nico?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah. And then
Their
Tokyo
fries?
is my favorite. I'll say Tokyo is one of my top favorites.
Have y'all been to Yuzo? It's on Broadway.
I've only gotten them to go,
Okay.
but they're good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's Yuzo Sushi Tapas.
Does he actually have the puffer fish? Because I know
yeah.
that they have that puffer fish.
They have it on the sign.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't know if they actually have it.
I've only seen like YouTube videos about people eating puffer fish, and then like,
Oh, it's supposed to be prepped a certain way,
like
right?
you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
like in Japan be like certified. Like you can be like a sushi chef, but then if you wanna prepare puffer fish,
it's
it's
a
like
whole
an
different
extra level of training right there.
So that you don't kill a bunch of people.
You can kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about it. It's like if you don't know how to fillet that thing right, you'll just like paralyze yourself for life.
That's so crazy.
I know, right? It's like eating, but like
Kinda
extreme
exciting.
sports of food.
Extreme food, sports of food. Yes.
I want to know how many people
X
went
Games.
through that process and died before somebody actually figured it out.
Oh gosh.
Okay, let's not eat this fish.
It's like, if it's trying that hard to kill you, maybe you don't want to eat it. Like,
But we gotta.
But it was that good that it was worth it.
I wonder if it's like worth the effort. That's a good question. Best restaurant with the vegan or vegetarian menu option. The winner last year was Picasso.
Picasso Cafe.
Thoughts, comments, concerns?
I have not had any of the vegan or vegetarian options there, but it is one of my favorite spots too. And I wonder how long it's been in the Paseo district. It seems like it's
A
just
while.
one of those staples. Yeah, a while.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the runner-ups are Cool Greens, Plant, OKC, the Loaded Bowl, and the Red Cup.
Solid options.
There you go.
I haven't tried a couple of those, but yeah, Loaded Bowl surprised me in a very good way. So
nice.
Best seafood. Off the Hook won last year, and it beat out Frida Southwest, Hefner Grill, Pearls, and the Drake.
When I think of seafood, it's got to be a place where they offer like oysters and things. It's just kind of hard to imagine getting that like super, super fresh here. But when the Drake was open, man,
I thought they were doing a good job about it. Yeah.
Well, because they did it like they did in the East Coast. Like they labeled every single oyster and they told you exactly where it's from. And
that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love learning about that because you can really tell like there's a difference in flavor, and then you can even see how different they look. Their morphology is different. But Off the Hook is not a place I've been to, so.
Off the Hook is really good. It's more of a Cajun style, New Orleans style. And I think that's just, again, from a geography standpoint, where we are in the country, we're not pulling a whole lot of, tuna off of Lake Hefner. So,
wait, what are we pulling off of Lake Hefner?
I thought that's where the tuna came from. No, from our man-made lakes. No,
I mean everything has to be flown in, so it's probably harder from a cost perspective. It's harder from a quality and a freshness perspective, obviously. So I think Oklahoma, when you talk about seafood, we veer very heavily towards the Creole and Cajun and New Orleans side of, can we fry it and bread it and batter it and
catfish.
Yeah, I mean, even though that's not seafood technically, but yes.
Well, yeah.
Wait, you think catfish is not technically seafood?
Well, I mean, you don't really catch it in the sea.
Wait.
Okay. All right. I mean, but you would still count it as surf.
Yes, it is surf.
If you were turfing with something else.
Maybe I was like, wait, is it a mammal?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. What kind of tidbit of trivia am I missing out on right now?
So we tend to fry our fish, I guess, probably more.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, it's not light seafood.
No,
but it is delicious
for sure. Delicious
water food. River food. I don't know.
This water's pH level is fantastic. All right. Best dessert. Pie Junkie.
And it's best dessert restaurant, shop, or bakery. So that's the category.
Nice. Okay.
So Pie Junkie wins.
Yeah, so not best dessert at a restaurant. Yes.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, Pie Junkie is Pie Junkie.
Yep.
You guys have been there. Love Pie Junkie.
Man. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
Pie Junkie is delicious.
You haven't been to Pie Junkie?
No, I love sweets, but I don't like seek it out. Like I'm not gonna go out of
Me
my
neither.
way,
I agree.
to get sweets.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I really hope this year I see Ganache Patisserie. They have pretty amazing. They have like macarons, and then their cakes are really beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been there a few times. I've gotten some cakes there for birthdays, and they really blow me away every time I go there.
The runner-ups in this were Ingrid's, La Baguette, OKC Sweets, and Raspberries and Cream. Which, nice. I don't know, Raspberries and Cream. I'll have to look that up. I think this is a good spot for part 1. And then we'll be back with part 2, where we talk about the best Mexican, best Latin, best Italian, best Western European concept. Ooh, interesting.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot that was a category. And the best restaurant that won last year. I like how we're trying to build suspense, but this is all published online. This is from last year.
The Oscars.
So
and the award
tune in.
Stay tuned after this commercial message. Anyway, so part 2 coming up next week. In the meantime, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button so you know when that next episode is out. And follow us on the social medias.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at OKC Foodcast. Send us a DM. You know, we love hearing from you guys, what places you've been to, what you think about the places that we're trying out. And then definitely look us up on Twitter. Trying to be a little bit more active there, just kind of interact with everyone. And then definitely on Facebook.
And TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Starting slowly but surely.
We're always going to mention TikTok.
And TikTok.
So yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us where we're right, where we're wrong on some of these restaurant choices. Tell me where I can get good barbecue.
Or a good sandwich.
Or a good sandwich, that's right. So we'd love to hear from you. OKCFoodcast@gmail.com, as well as all the social media platforms.
That's right. And leave us a rating, write us a review. We just ask so much of you. But just do it. And until next week, eat well and be happy.